that. I got that. Yes, Lord. I got that. I got that. I got that. I got that. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Grand rising. How you doing? Good morning.
All that great jazz.
Yeah, you sound low, but yeah,
I know,
yeah, yeah.
I'm messing with it because
Okay,
sound
okay.
low. Like I'm trying to see where
Where we at? Where we at tonight?
just see
I
just a
messed
little.
up over here.
So yeah, maybe.
Get that CD line down, maybe. Turn the CD line. The one, yeah, that's it.
You know,
Maybe, quite
I don't
possibly.
know. Quite
Okay.
possibly.
Well, that's why you donate. That's why you contribute. That's why you give, right? So,
Okay. Does it sound a little bit better?
a little bit,
A little bit.
just a tad
Just
bit.
a
Bring me
tad
down a
bit.
little bit, and I just use my
That
yeah,
sound. I don't know.
yeah. It's
I mean,
interesting. Interesting. Can
I'm
y'all
just.
hear us good? Put it in the chat. Let us know. Can you hear us good this morning? And we about to get going, man. God is still in charge, y'all.
All the time.
And all the time,
God
God
is
is
in charge.
right on, right on. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
Kiana.
This program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See that.
We'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool because
Smart.
it's the
New.
gangster.
Baby.
And if you don't know, now you know. Now you
Good
know. Now
morning,
you
Miss
know.
Davis.
Now you know. Miss Davis is in the building.
Yes.
What's up with comedian Damian Davis? We didn't get a call from Pastor. Don't you know no
No,
good? Maybe. You got the call from Pastor? Don't you?
Yeah, I
Don't you
did.
know no
Yeah,
good?
he got some stuff cooking, and
Okay,
he
okay.
gonna come in
It,
one of these days and
it,
kind of talk about it, and
it's marinating. It's
yeah.
marinating. Let it marinate. Then yeah, I hear that
How was
sometimes.
your weekend?
Man, I had a really good weekend. I had a good weekend. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
didn't do a whole lot, but just had a lot of good energy around me. So Friday was my daughter's birthday,
Right, baby
baby
girl.
girl's birthday, and so that was just good vibes, good spaces. And Saturday we had the grandsons over, so
Okay.
they was running around acting crazy, doing what they do.
Okay.
So that was just good energy, good vibes. And then yesterday we went over to Coasis.
Okay.
Yeah, you been to Coasis?
I have.
Yeah, I had a good time over at Coasis. Growing up as a girl dad, I'm always like
Yeah.
the only guy. And my son-in-law, he went to the Bucks game, so he's usually,
Oh, so he bucked you.
yeah, literally, literally. But it's always good. We always have a good time, and I mean that's again, that's kind of how I grew up. Spent my most of my adult life just
Mhm.
me and the girls, and so yeah, it was a good time, good vibe, good food, and yeah, ready for this week, man.
Actually, I had a good weekend also.
Good, good,
We
good.
went to the comedy show on Friday. I went to see Funny Marco.
Okay.
We was
I'm
selling
laughing because that dude,
what?
his brand, no, just the Funny Marco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I saw some of his videos and how he the,
Yeah,
the interviews that he do.
yeah.
And he had people like all thrown off with his interviews. So
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, say like we went. It was actually because this week, it was election week. So my mama birthday was
Yep.
the 5th. My cousin birthday was the 6th.
Okay.
Carol birthday was the 7th.
That's
So
right.
it
That's
kind
right.
of all rolled in. So we end up celebrating Keisha's birthday at Funny Bone
Okay.
at the comedy show. So we did that. Hung out with Shine. It's always a good time when I hang out with my baby.
Right on. Right on.
So we.
How long is she in town?
She's in town right now and probably till like the end of the month.
Okay.
She was actually supposed to have been gone like on Thursday.
Right on,
But
Renee.
then the schedule kind of just changed a little bit on her. So yeah, but then hopefully, she'll be performing at the Grammys. We're crossing our fingers.
Nice. We're gonna talk about the Grammys too. That's on
yeah,
that's in the queue.
in the queue
It's
because
in the queue.
money got nominated for 4 Grammys. And,
Okay.
one of them is the live performance, and you know who does the live performance?
Who does it?
Diane.
She does the live
She does
performance.
So
That's what's up.
It's exciting.
Oh, that's amazing. I appreciate that, and it's always good to start with some good news.
Yeah.
Um, So motivational Monday, motivational money
Turkey
making
drive on Saturday.
turkey drive on Saturday. Appreciate that. Militarymoney.com/discounts in the chat. Check it out.
Oh yeah, it is Veterans Day.
It is. So happy Veterans Day
Yes.
to all the veterans. Shout out to all of the veterans. Yeah. But what I wanted to say for this motivational Monday, I told you I had spent some time with my mom yesterday, as a matter of fact. And we were talking about, the political landscape, all the stuff that's going on in the world, and world affairs, and then just like personal stuff that we're dealing with. And she hit me with her famous line, God is still in charge.
Amen.
God is still in charge. And when she let me know that, I mean, she didn't have to let me know. She let me know that growing up and all my life. But I knew that growing up, but just in that moment when she said it was almost like that moment when you had where when I was kind of debating the appointment process.
Okay.
And then my mama was like, well, if you got to change who you is to do that job, then that job not for you. She always give me like what I need when I need it. And yesterday, the God is still in charge is common knowledge in our household, but just the moment and the way she said it was like, yeah, okay, yeah, don't you forget, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like with all the stuff that you're doing, all the stuff that you want to do, all the stuff you got to do, all the stuff you done did, just remember, God is still in charge.
Got his hands on.
He got his hands on me, on us, on everything. Like almighty. Like not some mighty, not a little bit mighty, but like almighty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like a little bit in charge, but like in charge of this part, but like all encompassing. Like he got it all. So even when you look at the national landscape and the political landscape, like God is still in charge. And I can say that with certainty because that's what my mama told me. So yeah, that's
your mama said
it. It's got to be the truth. So that's my motivational moment. God is still in charge, man. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, shake loose and remember that he either caused it or he allowed it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or you know what? Let me tell you this. He gives you free will.
That's right.
To do as you please.
That's right.
And so even that you caused it because you chose the either way. You know what I mean?
But he allowed it.
He allowed it because he gave you free will.
That's right.
But he goes wherever you go. You just invite him there.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
And I got that. Yeah, y'all got to tune into the radio too, because we be crunk in the morning before the show start, but because we can't play music on the radio, we have to just like leave our Facebook. I mean, we can't make music on Facebook. Thank you. Yeah. We just leave it, off Facebook.
Mark be tripping.
He really do.
Sometimes like in there, he be big tripping.
Big tripping. Mark do.
Did the Bucks win the game last night?
The Bucks did not win.
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, I left and they was winning, and I left because I was confident that they was gonna win. Oh. And then when I got back home,
it was a different.
I'm like, what? Well, hold on, how they didn't win? Because they was winning when I left. Oh. Maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I jinxed them by leaving.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. So Trump is in the news.
Okay, and we're gonna get into that. I want to really talk. I want to like double click on his day one. Okay, is that what it is? His day one?
He got a couple of day ones.
So he in there for like his day one policies.
Yeah,
his policy proposal. He got a few day one policy proposals, and so we're gonna start. Y'all stick around, man. Tag some people and get them in here because we want to talk about Trump. We want to hear y'all thoughts too. Remember, this is your platform, your space. And so you're welcome to comment at any time. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind and participate. But yeah, I want to go into like how we did with the amendments, how we broke down what his proposals, what the amendments would do. We want to do a similar thing to and for Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump.
Yeah, and his day one policy proposals. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, so we did a non-scientific poll on social media, and I want to go over the results of the non-scientific poll. it was actually two polls, and a lot of the people who are on here participated in them. And so we're going to review the results of the polls and have a conversation about it. This is in place of Would You Rather.
Oh, we haven't had Would You Rather in a while.
Yeah, so I figured we put this poll here and then we'll do Would You Rather.
Oh, well,
at some point.
We'll grab it back.
Yeah,
Would you rather?
Yeah,
we can bring it back.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's right. We in charge. Right next to God.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we asked two questions. The first one was, which generation are you, and do you use proper punctuation in your text messages? Periods, commas, question marks.
Sometimes.
And you are generation?
I think I'm a millennial. Let me look at it. Which one are you?
I'm X, but I think millennials start 81. So the millennial, we had it broke down. It was 81 through like 96 was 80. Millennial. Okay, so you like the last year of X.
Yeah.
Yes, like 64 to 80, I think, is X. And then like 81 to 96 is millennial. Uh-huh. And then after that, you get into Z, I think from like 97 to maybe like 13 or something like that. But don't quote me. It's all on the page and it's in the poll. But here's the generation breakdown. So most of the responses came from Generation X.
Good morning, Cheryl.
1965 to 1980. Millennials born 81 to 96 were the primary respondents. And we had one baby boomer, which was like our parents, right? Okay. So from the 40s up to maybe 64 or something like that.
Okay.
And no one from Generation Z or Alpha commented, and it might just speak to like my social media fan base and who's following us and whatnot. But the punctuation preferences, a surprising number of responses from respondents from Generation X said that they use proper pronunciation regularly, even going as far as using two spaces after a period. I didn't know that was a thing. You're supposed to do two spaces after the period? Supposed to do no two spaces after the period. Well, yeah, they ain't doing it. Well, okay. Hear you. Millennials were split about.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, me either. So teach us something. Call us.
Don't.
We can teach you something. All right. This coffee hot. This hot in here too.
Yeah.
So millennials were split. About half used punctuation consistently, while the other half said that it depends on the audience. Baby boomers, of course, said yes, they use proper punctuation most of the time. So it looks like Generation X is holding strong with the traditional writing habits, while millennials are a bit more flexible, adjusting based upon who they're texting. I get that. And this shows the different generations' approach to communication, especially as it relates to formal and digital language. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate punctuation in text messages.
I appreciate real words. Like I appreciate.
Okay, so not even just the grammar part of it, but the actual spelling out words.
Like, it'd be so stupid for me like that. THAT, but then you will put THUT. Like same amount of letters. Like I'm
so, but you couldn't use it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
It just makes no sense to me. Like you. Like,
why wouldn't you not just spell that on the way out? Like, Sharonda said it's only one space.
I know, but I'm just saying, like you be looking at it and you be like, what?
Yeah, what you mean?
Huh?
Yeah,
like you really like.
Well, with who?
Right, right. Like why?
Yeah,
like why? Like that made no sense. Like and then like the ones that be like, I don't know, I don't like it.
Okay, use words. Use your words.
Use your words. I don't like it.
So use your words and your proper punctuation in your text message.
Do you like
the new? I don't have a up or down on that one. It's just I just kind of adjust it to what it is. Like sometimes it'll stump me and be like, "What is? Oh, okay, I get it."
But it's still
they could have just said that. Like I have those moments too. Like you could have just
it took more thought for you not to write it right
than to just do it the proper way.
You know what? A lot of
and like how spell check and auto correct didn't catch that. Like a lot of that stuff.
That's how they spell now.
Okay, so they've added it to the dictionary and
I just don't like it.
I hear that. Poll number 2. Again, these non-scientific polls. So we asked who sent those mysterious messages. So we said, now this next poll it did stir up a little bit of emotions, and we asked, who do y'all really think sent those controversial text messages that was targeting the community? Remember we talked about the
Oh,
text
yeah,
messages,
yeah.
and so we was asking like, okay, who really sent those text messages? It was a mixed bag. There was a lot of suspicion and distrust. So many of you pointed fingers at the government agencies, suggesting new ABC departments might be behind it. ABC, FBI, CIA, alphabet departments might be behind it to create confusion and stir the pot. It's a reminder of the Internet Research Agency's tactics back in 2016, where the goal was to divide and manipulate the public. That was one of the comments or some of the sentiment. Some of you expressed anger and disgust at the messages, calling them vile and repugnant. And it's clear that they had a strong impact on some of those who received them. There's also a diversity or a mix of reactions. Some folks wanted more information on the text. I guess they hadn't seen it, while others brushed it off, saying that it didn't matter who sent the text and that we should focus on taking action when the time is right. So the key takeaway is that the poll highlights the deep distrust of official sources and growing awareness of disinformation tactics. People are alert and paying attention, but they also have a bit of fatigue or skepticism about the importance of knowing who sent the messages. But it is a clear sign that we need to stay vigilant and informed. What you think? Who you think sent it?
I don't know who sent the message.
You think it was like an actual group or person or some type of campaign for disinformation and just?
I think so. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it, people organize Project 25.
Yeah.
Let you know that
Yeah.
people like hate exists.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
And then even
Hate backed by an agenda. Yeah.
right. And even during this campaign, you saw the hatred like fester.
And did.
Right. And so like somebody sent it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it didn't like come from the sky.
Right.
So I think wherever it came from, it definitely was organized.
Yeah.
And it came from a place of hatred. Regardless if it wanted to disrupt or make you distrust, it came out. And it did. I mean, honestly, I think it did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
It woke some people up.
Yep.
It made, it scared some people.
It did.
You know what I mean? And then we're talking about it.
Yeah. So it's a conversation now. Yeah.
So
report back to the plantation, they said. So y'all tripping. But yeah, so with both of these polls, it actually gives us a snapshot of where we are generationally, with differences in communication styles and a strong sense of skepticism about the motives behind certain messages. It's a reminder that we got to stay aware, y'all, on all fronts, man. Think critically and always be on the lookout for tactics that are meant to divide us. We got to keep this conversation going about unity, and I want to talk more about that in the days and weeks ahead, what that means, what it looks like, what it isn't, and all of the things, and really just kind of really pull the string as we move into 2025 and kind of synchronize our watches when it comes to unity. Today is my brother's birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, Joseph Dames, man. Big Uncle Elroy Jetson. And it's like my brother for real. Like blood couldn't make us no closer. So true story. I'll say this. Just when we talk about resilience, overcoming odds, overcoming obstacles, like facing difficulty, God's still in charge, God got it, all those things, like he epitomizes all of those things.
Yeah.
So when we were teenagers, and this is my testimony. This is part of my testimony on my Motivational Monday. So it was one morning, I can forget what day of the week it was, but it was a morning. I was still in school, had a part-time job, but I wasn't going to my job. I was skipping school, and then I was supposed to go to my job. My job was like OJT. And so my last 2 or 3 periods of my class was my job, or school was my job, right? Yeah. So I only had like 4 periods in the morning, and then after that, I go to work. Got credit for it.
And you still ain't doing what's right.
Wasn't doing what's right.
Okay, but go ahead.
I was doing what I thought. I was 17 years old. I had it all figured out at that point.
Yeah,
I knew what everything meant and how to do it. So trying to make the long story short, how can I do that? I can do that by telling y'all to go get this book. It's a great book. It's called Collecting My Thoughts, My Personal Journey of Evolution. It's on Facebook. Y'all Google it. Put it in, Collecting My Thoughts, My Personal Journey of Evolution. It's my brother's book. I actually wrote the foreword to the book.
Okay.
And in the foreword to the book, I tell the same story that I was about to tell now, but we just don't have enough time. But long story short, my brother ended up getting in some trouble, got sentenced to 58 years in prison. Yeah. And if I didn't have a good woman in that little job, I would have been with him because my wife made me go to work that day. And because I had her, she was my girlfriend at the time, but because I had her to make me go to that job I had, it was her and the job that literally stopped me from getting in the car with him, going with him on that day that that later ended up in a 58-year sentence. Yeah. I mean, he fought it. He fought it. He's out now. He fought it, appealed it, won the appeal, gave back a lot of that time, and he came home in 2010.
But he did a lot of it.
He did like 17 years of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He did like 17 off of 58. But it's very inspirational. Great book, great story. And yeah, y'all check it out, man. Happy birthday, Joe. I love you, man. Yeah. Collecting my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
God is good. He's always in charge.
Always in charge.
Like, you know how like you get that little feeling
Mm-hmm.
and you try to ignore it.
Okay.
And when you ignore it, you get yourself in trouble.
I do.
You know what
Look,
I
I gotta
mean?
turn the air down. Hold on.
Oh, you hot. Yeah, you know, like you get that feeling, or you think your parents is mean because they telling you not to do something. No, but you know they was saving your life.
Yeah, they was. Yeah,
and I mean you could call it mean or whatever. I remember
it was intentional. Yeah,
it was I remember one time, like, and I think I've told this story on the radio before. Like I wanted to go to this party, Mumbo.
Okay, yeah,
he had a party.
Yep.
And a matter of fact, he changed it so that I can go to the party.
Mhm.
Right? Like so, but my mama told me I could not go. Like I was so upset. Like I had a whole temper tantrum.
Was it the posters off the wall?
Yeah.
Tantrum. Yeah.
But it ended up being shooting at the party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next day, and I was so happy that my mama, you know,
Stop
even
you.
though my wall was bare.
Yeah.
Because you know
The morning after, yeah.
You know, to go and get all the magazines and posters. Cause that used to be
yeah, posters and
And you get them and post them on your wall.
Yep.
Like I was in, like I had a whole bunch of Tevin Campbell, Boys
Right.
Mid.
Right.
Like they was all gone.
Ah, man, just in a fit. But you were still here because you listened to your mama. So I also want to do a moment of silence for Veterans Day. Somebody put it in the chat, and it is Veterans Day. And I want to say something about that before we go on the break. So today, we want to pause and honor the men and women who have served our country, dedicated their lives to what they believe was a noble cause, protecting our freedoms and uplifting our values. Many of our veterans who went into battle with a heart full of courage and a spirit committed to defending justice. They put their bodies and souls on the line, trusting that they were serving the greater good. But today, as we reflect on their service, we must also face a deeper truth that there are those among our veterans who, after risking everything, came to realize that their sacrifices were not always for the ideals that they believed in. Many were sent into conflicts with hidden agendas, sent to overthrow foreign governments, seize resources, or defend political interests that had little to do with our nation's security and freedom. It's an uncomfortable truth, but it is a truth that we owe to them to acknowledge. So, to those veterans who return home feeling disillusioned, conflicted, or even betrayed by the very system that you sought to defend, today we honor you, your service, and your struggle. We recognize the pain of fighting for a cause only to later learn of the injustices behind it. Your bravery remains unchanged and your sacrifice is no less valuable because of the misuse of your dedication. So we want to take a moment of silence, not only to honor all those who serve, but to reflect on the full weight of their sacrifice. Let us hold space for the veterans who gave their all, even when the mission that they thought they were on was not what they were led to believe. May this moment also be a reminder of our collective responsibility to seek truth, hold our leaders accountable, and ensure that the next generation of soldiers will not be asked to fight in conflicts that betray the values that we claim to uphold as a nation. And so, veterans, soldiers, we want to give you a moment of silence for you and your sacrifice at this time. Thank you.
Amen.
And yeah, let us honor our veterans today with not just words, but with a commitment to a just and honest future, and not sending these babies that's going for better jobs to unjust wars.
And get all y'all free stuff today.
Please. Take me with you.
I know.
You get free coffee. You get
little stuff. So yeah, my cousin Keisha, she makes sure she get like
she take full advantage.
Yes. Yes.
Why not? That's something that we should do. We should take full advantage of all of the privileges, the opportunities, like them senior discounts. If you 55 and you get the discounts, take them.
And your birthday discounts, like know, like people
that's true.
Really,
there's a lot of discounts on your birthday.
Oh, Krispy Kreme's gave me half a dozen of donuts for free
on your birthday.
Yes.
They were doing donuts with I voted stickers too. I saw.
But not a half a dozen.
No, not a whole half a dozen.
Yeah.
That just don't happen. Simon, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all, man. So yeah, get your free stuff. Take advantage of it. Yeah.
But you put it in a different light when you say that, because like when you go over there and you don't think, like, we talk about PTSD, right?
Yes.
And the toll that it takes on people. When you put it in that light, that like you go over there hopeful that you're doing something right, and then when you come back and be like, I did that, the things that play in your mind, in your heart, you know what I mean, and say like,
that's right,
I did this, and I thought that like you already felt bad for
going over there doing it.
But then you realize that it wasn't for what you thought it was.
We're going to stop them with weapons of mass destruction, and then
you realize it ain't that.
Ain't no
and then the lives and everybody that had an impact on it. Depending on where you at mentally, spiritually, and physically, it plays with you. You know what I mean? So not only did they give their time and their sacrifice and even their skills for it, they also sometimes gave a part of their soul.
A lot of times, especially if you end up taking a life or lives, like from those who I've talked to who have taken lives, you're never the same after that. It for whatever reason, whatever cause, whatever it is, like it changes you as a person, as a human being. And to do that, and then you justifying the cause and you saying, okay, well, I'm doing this because of XYZ.
Right.
And then you find out that XYZ wasn't the real reason why you were doing it. It does leave a mark on your soul. And a lot of, veterans deal with that. And so we wanted to really just acknowledge the fact that we live in a country where you have people who are veterans of wars that we later found out were unjust. And it's no fault, if you will, or it's not the responsibility of the soldiers who signed up going to, defend the Constitution and all that stuff.
And you felt like you was doing it. So we're here to tell you that, like, listen, we see you, we appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely.
And that burden alone is not just yours.
Absolutely. And we're here for you. We definitely support you. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back at 7 minutes after the hour. Up next is Democracy Now!, y'all, the War and Peace Report. So we got a lot on the agenda. Stick around. I got that.
The significance of anything and everything that my father, his
Agape Soul Boutique, high-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at AgapeSoulBoutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique, high-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at AgapeSoulBoutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique, high-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at agapesoulshoeteak.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Shoe Teak today. Agape Soul Shoe Teak. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products.
Listen, I don't listen. We have so much fun on the show.
We really do.
We really do.
Yeah.
And I mean, like
Yeah.
even.
Right on. If you only knew, welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project. Okay.
Go.
You good?
Yeah.
Other Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See that.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
Smart
it's the new
gangster.
baby.
And if you didn't know,
Now you know. No. It's the shoulders. See that? Y'all see that? It's all in the shoulders. It's all in the shoulders.
yeah, because it's like the chair dance that contest that we never had.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's do it.
Because Dad was supposed to be in here.
He's supposed to lead the chair dance.
Like,
I think I don't know that. Oh, so what? That sounds like a challenge, because you sound like you was about to say what I was about to say. The chair dance. Okay, we got to set a date, and we're gonna do the chair dance, y'all. Absolutely.
You know, people in the chair dance look like when you sitting in the chair, it look like you can get down.
Ooh,
you know, because when you stand up, like you show your age sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
And
That's
you
true.
Can't really move, but you in that chair.
Oh my God! Yeah, killing it. I'm the best. I think I got the best chair dance of all. I really
as you stand up,
as I stand here this morning. So yeah, we want to also remind y'all that you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, New 99 Jams Morning Show. And we do rely on the support of listeners like you to keep the shows that you love on the air. All the things, man. And so y'all support. This is independent, 100% independent, 100% community owned radio. Like, we own this. Like, we pay the bills
really
here.
Do.
Yeah.
And so, we've been on here for a while, right?
Yep.
And we actually really love what we do.
Yes.
I mean, honestly.
Because that's why we do it, for the love.
Really why we do
yeah.
It. But with love, when you pour into something, you want it to be financial beneficial to you eventually.
At some point, yep.
At some point, and that's where we're at with it, right? Not because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Nobody asks anybody to go to their job for free.
Right.
Nobody asks anybody, like, when you clock in, if your boss said, "Hey, come here for free," you'll look at them like they was crazy. So yeah, like, come on in, support the show. Hire us to go out there and do your event.
Yep.
This is what we do. Like, we look at that, and I don't even know how we get here, but I listen to the advertisement and I see people buy advertisement other places, on other stations, and then call our phones and inbox us and don't want to give us a dime.
Oh man, yeah, that ain't right, y'all. That ain't right, y'all. Y'all spending a lot of money with a lot of other people, but then because we hear community radio, you think community means free.
And we go harder for your events and everything.
Give you a whole lot more than what you get from a corporate station, that's for sure.
And we show up.
Yeah.
We support. We also, so y'all take that in consideration when y'all sitting up here thinking about it, because I understand y'all be like, oh, this is community radio. But we touch a lot of people. We get a lot of replays where on Most Show Live.
Yeah, mostshowlive.com.
Right. We're and people really tune in and find out what's going on from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Yes.
So put some respect.
Put some respect on it and put a check on it too. So you can do that by sending stars. You can actually also go to 99jamstheberg.com, hit that donate button, and give a contribution. Also, just some hurricane related news. Together St. Pete, there's a hurricane recovery and resource meeting this Wednesday. It's at the Coliseum. Doors open at 5 p.m. The city leadership and representatives from FEMA, the Florida Division of Emergency Management, and Pinellas County will be sharing information about financial assistance options, recovery resources and support, and permitting for rebuilding. This will also serve as an opportunity for St. Pete residents to provide feedback, identify areas of improvement, and offer strategies for future resilience against catastrophic events. And so it's going to be like a mix of a listening session as well as resources. And so come ready to give your feedback. If you was pleased with the response that the city gave, or You have a mixed review, like, okay, I was pleased with this part, but not pleased with that part. Or if you think they just did horrible, come out and get it documented and make that the prelude for your suggestion on how it can be better. This will be Wednesday at the Coliseum at 5 p.m.
Okay, and they made it after you got off work.
Yep. Yep.
So
And they said feedback from the Together St. Pete meeting can help inform future discussions hosted by other community organizations, and will ensure a collaborative approach towards a stronger community and preparation. There'll be resource tables available, as we mentioned, with representatives from the city, FEMA, and other organizations, all available starting at 5 p.m., followed by a Q&A session that begins at 6. And attendees are asked to pre-register by going to stpete.org/recovery. Afrofuturism. Did you make it to any of the events for the Afrofuturism Festival?
No, I did not.
So I was with you then. But looks like they had a blast there. And then if you missed last weekend, there's also this weekend. There's events happening this weekend. On Friday, it starts with the Clearwater Community Tech Day. And so make sure that you check that out. And then there's an evening with Tiana Johnson, an intimate evening with author and artist Tiana Johnson. And then there's live music performances as well on Friday. And then Sunday, this is what I'm looking forward to. It's a closing night at Studio at 620. And it's an evening featuring none other than Professor Donnie.
Ooh.
Yeah. Professor Donnie is going to be
Donnie the Professor.
Donnie the Professor, the intellectual gangster and co-host of The Voice of the People right here on 99 Jams. He will be with DJ Speedy presenting Afrofuturism, the first and final frontier. It'll have music and visuals review and a presentation by designer Kamisha Martin, titled The Evolution of Lola Soul. So it's going to be an amazing
right. And
event.
if you know anything about Donnie knows his stuff.
And he always bring it. Like always
he's
bring
one
it.
of them real prepared brothers.
Yes.
Super prepared. Ready. Like you give him an assignment.
Oh my God.
And the assignment was done before you even gave it to him.
Pretty much.
He sit there and be like, what would they want from me?
Yeah.
And like he pre-do it.
Yeah.
And then you call him and be like, oh yeah.
I got an idea for something that we could use. And he's like, guess what? I got that already. Yeah.
So he's one of those people. So
yes.
That's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be real nice. And it's gonna be hot, so wear something cool. Because Brother Donnie bring the heat, man.
Yeah, and then he doesn't mind about being controversial.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he rather give you the truth and then he stand on what it is. And then DJ Speedy definitely he does his thing. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I mean. It's gonna be got good vibes. Yeah. So it's like infotainment, right?
Yeah, no.
Or edutainment. You get educated and entertained.
All of that.
Edutainment. How about that?
You get to get some fashion in there too.
That's Sunday at 6:20 at the studio at 6:20. Make sure that y'all check it out. Dan, what's good, man? Thank you for tuning in. And then Dan the man. All right, so Trump's day one. He came out with his day one priorities. This is what he plans to do day one. Day one, mass deportations of migrants. Send them all back. Here's what the proposal is. So I'll do this. I'll read the proposal, some of the key facts, and then pros and cons, and then we can open it up for comment. Let's do it that way.
Go ahead.
All right. So mass deportation of migrants. Trump plans to launch the largest mass deportation program in U.S. history, focusing on expelling undocumented migrants using the Alien Enemies Act and the National Guard. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Look, he going way back into the toolbox for this one.
Somebody had to do this research.
He went way back. This man went to 1798 and going to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. It allows the president to deport non-citizens from countries at war with the U.S. Trump's plan would also require significant resources, including detention facilities, because you got to hold the people somewhere, law enforcement personnel, and transportation logistics. The supporters' viewpoint. Supporters believe that this plan will restore law and order, reduce crime, and relieve pressure on public services. They argue that the U.S. cannot sustain large numbers of undocumented migrants and that strict enforcement is necessary. The concerns that critics are arguing is that this would create a humanitarian crisis and violate due process as well as disrupt immigrant communities. There are also legal questions about using the National Guard for mass deportations. Thoughts?
My thoughts is, okay, some people need to go, some people need to stay, right?
Okay.
Everybody here not good. Everybody here ain't bad.
Yep.
Right? When you think of on the flip side of it, people that are here that are working, they pay their taxes and they will never get the benefits of it.
True.
Right?
Yep.
Which also is benefiting you. They're paying into your Social Security, right? And so we get millions of dollars from them, from their taxes. So they're also helping build the economy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, we're sitting up here saying, hey, they taking our jobs, but they're also paying in the system that, that's going to help us out when hopefully we still have it. Right.
That's a whole nother. Yeah. We talked about Project 2025 and, what they want to do with Social Security. So that's a real thing. Like when you say, if we still have it.
I mean, it's a lot of ifs, what I mean? Like we're looking, we're looking at a new tomorrow every day.
Right. Pretty much. And in some cases, tomorrow is today.
But to deport people, like, this country came from immigrants. You know what I mean? Like, everybody here is from somewhere. Like, this is a big
I got something on that
melting pot
too. Yeah.
of all different kind of cultures and all different kind of jazz. And when you look at it, what if your parents was deported?
Yeah.
With your grandparents or your great great grandparents, where would you be? Like Trump, like if you sit up here,
how they split families the first time,
right? And because
they still don't know what happened to them children, and like the children who were taken from their families and they were split up at the border, like all those things.
You talk about children trafficking. You talk about you're over here when it's like right in front of your face, because people just don't disappear.
No. Something happened to these people.
Something happened to them. Like they went somewhere.
Right.
Well, I don't know where they went, but they went somewhere.
And that's the question that remains to be asked is, what are you talking about doing with these people, and how are you going to handle these families?
The thing is, like, if they're not, so I think if you go in there and you look at people and you say, hey, I want you to be documented, right? If they haven't done any crimes here and they're really following the laws,
right,
and they're being productive citizens, then help them get on the road so that they can become, because they're already doing
like somebody did with the majority of the migrants that came from other countries in the beginning and the founding of this nation. Yeah,
but it's the migrants that they are attacking, because they're not attacking the Europeans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're attacking the black and brown migrants that's here. So it looks different,
Yeah, that's true. It looks different. Like
it looks different. Like you're not.
I remember somebody said like his wife is an immigrant, right?
She is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you look at it, like, you're not talking about, again, the Caucasians that's coming in here, but you are talking about the black and brown people that's coming in here, and you have a problem with them.
And then it says that they can deport people who are from countries that we are at war with. In a lot of cases, like, we started those wars,
and again,
or we're supporting those wars,
and they're black and brown people.
Yeah,
you know,
in black and brown countries, right? Come on, man. Wow. So keep your eyes open on that. When they said that there could legal challenges could be brought against the use of the Alien Enemies Act. Community organizations plan on providing resources and legal support for undocumented individuals, while the advocacy groups and lobby agencies are aggressively working against the deportation tactics. Another one of the things that he said he would do was pardon the Capitol rioters. So Trump has pledged to pardon many of those convicted for their involvement in the January 6th Capitol riots, calling them patriots.
I want to know, is he gonna pardon that black guy?
The brother who was the first one to get time.
So the first one to get time, is he the first one to get out?
Is he gonna be the first? Yeah, he probably done did his time. As long as he done been in there, they had that brother sitting. So he said they plan on pardoning the January 6th rioters, calling them patriots. Over 1,500 people have been charged for their participation in the riot, with many already serving prison sentences. The president-elect and the president actually has the authority to issue pardons for federal offenses, including those prosecuted in D.C. So supporters view the rioters as individuals standing up against what they believe was a fraudulent election. They see the pardons as necessary to correct what they perceive as a politically motivated prosecution. Opponents argue that this move would legitimize political violence and set a dangerous precedent. It could also erode public trust in the justice system. As though, okay, let me get through it. It could also erode public trust in the justice system and further polarize the nation. What you think? January 6th?
But he didn't start it.
That's right, Yubi.
But he didn't start it.
Yeah, he said he had nothing to do with it. But, you know, these are patriots. They doing what they're supposed to do. So and I'm probably, that's probably why a lot of them went out to vote. They were trying to get their dogs out. You know, we ain't in a lot of them group chats.
Yeah,
vote for Trump and your dog. Vote for Trump and your dog can jump.
Yeah, you know. Wait, listen. I told you that I was in a racist chat before, like a racist group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the stuff they used to say in that boy.
Oh wow.
Oh boy.
Wow.
It's like the fly on the wall.
It didn't hurt your feelings?
No.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that came up going back a little bit, talking about the text messages and how some people were really like devastated by it, and other people were like, "Okay, it's just white folks doing what white folks do."
Yeah. So, listen, it's like you assume that people do that, right? But then when you see it, it's like I'm just sitting in it, like this is where they comfortable at. Like I can't tell nobody how to talk when they're comfortable. Like nobody can't tell me how to talk.
Yeah.
In my house.
No, they try to. They call it code switching. Huh?
Yeah. Did you see the white lady who said the N-word? She was
on where?
It was a sports show.
Okay.
I don't even.
She ain't mean no harm though, huh?
I
ain't even see it. I ain't see it, but
so it's her, a white guy, and a black guy on that, and she's about to say the Nuggets. Right?
The Denver Nuggets. That's right.
And she said the Denver.
Oh.
And then she tried to please.
I mean, you got to end in 2 G's. I see how you can make the
whatever. Listen, right? And so right. So she started laughing. She was like, so the black guy. So they was like
trying to smooth it over.
He trying to smooth it over. He was like, but everything has its final day.
Oh. Tell us how you really feel.
Like,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she tried to laugh it off, like. But
like she didn't just say this,
right? And she was
like she don't talk like this all the time.
Because the way that it came, like some words just like, no.
Yeah, it didn't even seem unnatural. Like she just kind of roll with it.
I'll find the clip and show.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. We got to show it to the people, man. So we talking about Trump's priorities. We want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about it? So his day 3 priorities, not day 3. Day 1 priorities, priority number 3.
We ain't got the day 2 or day 3.
No.
And he ain't even got the day 1 yet.
And I saw a clip, and I gotta find it. It was an article that said he was like, "I'm not trying to be a dictator, but maybe on day 1 though, because like all of these executive orders, like I might have to do some dictating on day 1, but trust me, that's not how I'm going to govern from here on out."
I'm going to say this. Y'all know I was not a Trump supporter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in democracy. And I don't believe that everybody is all bad, all good, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't like DeSantis, but he didn't do all bad stuff.
Yeah.
He did a lot of bad stuff, but everything wasn't bad. I can pick out some good stuff, some good policies.
You put it on the scale and weigh it.
Right. It may not be even,
but
there is some stuff. So there, so I mean, it is what it is.
I hear that. So another one of his priorities is dismantling the deep state by firing federal employees. So Trump wants to strip career. It's hard to even read this stuff. So Trump wants to strip career federal employees of their job protections using an executive order, Schedule F, making it easier to fire those who he believes are part of the deep state.
The people who was against him.
Pretty much.
That's really
that enemies list that he talked about. Yeah.
That's the petty, like, oh, so you don't like me? I don't like you. You're fired.
Yeah. And then check this out. The
Mhm.
Schedule F order could affect up to 50,000 federal employees, converting them from career positions to political appointments. And so the impact of that, meaning that, like, if you got a job as, I'll just keep it non-political. Let's say you're a data analyst at the White House,
Mhm.
and this is all hypothetical, right? So let's say you're a data analyst. That's a career. That's your job. So when you get hired to do that job for the government, regardless to who's in office, that's your job. What this would do is to basically take comparable jobs and say, these are political appointments now. And so we're going to appoint you to a position, which means that you can be removed from that position without the due process and protections that an employee, quote unquote, would have. And so, yeah, it just makes it easier for you to get rid of people. And it's based upon him just basically
You know what he
saying,
really need to do? He need to take away these background checks on some stuff. Since his is a felony.
Yeah.
Right? He's a felon.
Yeah.
And because technically Trump would not be able to get apartments.
Okay.
Like he would have.
He's a convicted felon.
He's a convicted.
He'd have a
time.
Has some explaining to do.
We would definitely have to write his essay.
There's some companies he wouldn't be able to work for.
There's a lot of companies he wouldn't be able to work for that they would just prejudge him strictly on his felonies. Right. And so, like, all the criminals that voted for him because he lived this lifestyle, you know what I mean? Then you gave them hope. Give them real hope. Like,
make it real.
Make it real. Like, don't let their vote be in vain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
if they're voting for criminal justice reform
and all that other stuff, like,
then make sure you do it.
Yeah, make sure you do it.
Yep. So Trump supporters believe that this move will eliminate the bureaucratic resistance and streamline government operations. They see it as a way to root out corruption and ensure that federal employees align with the administration's policies.
It sounds like a dictatorship.
Yeah, either you with us or you're not, and if you're not, we getting you out of here.
And that's what America is not about. Like, you're supposed to be the land of the free. So, like, I don't have to agree with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'm supposed to say, hey, this is not justice.
That's how you give honest feedback, right? Like but if you saying like either you agree with me or you fired, then okay, do what you want to do. And I'm just going to collect this little check. Critics warn that this would undermine the apolitical nature of civil service, leading to mass firings and a loss of expertise. Because if you fire all these people who've been there for so long, you replacing them with people who don't know what they're doing.
And you know what? That's like the new people who come in and think like they know everything, and they don't think that because you have age and wisdom, you have anything to offer.
Yeah.
But then because of my age and wisdom, I know some of them hurdles that you have been through, like, and some of those roadblocks that you're gonna hit, I can help you navigate.
Right.
Even though you can say, hey, this is new, I can give you something.
Right.
You cannot erase all of the great
years of experience and
This is why when you get out of college, even though you have this degree, it's hard for you to get a job because you don't have experience.
Yeah. Trump say fire them all. We get a whole bunch of new people.
And you're starting from the beginning. Just FYI, like, because you're getting a whole bunch of people who don't know what they're doing. But go ahead.
They don't know what they're doing, and they're aligning with the administration's agenda. So it said it could make the government agencies more partisan and less effective. Federal employee unions can begin organizing protests and start taking legal action. Congress can also pass legislation to protect civil service employees from the political reclassification that Trump is proposing. Y'all give us a call, man. Let us know what you're thinking. What y'all hearing about these proposals? And
727-637-2416.
2416.
Hold on.
We can't do it live.
Yeah, okay.
we can't do it live. So that's a couple of what he's proposing. And then one of the other ones was rolling back protections for transgender students. So the proposal summary: Trump plans to reverse the Biden era Title IX protections for transgender students, which prevent discrimination in schools. He also intends to cut federal funding for schools teaching critical race theory and not supporting transgender girls. Biden's Title IX changes clarified that discrimination against transgender students is prohibited under federal law. Trump's proposal includes a new executive order to cut funding for schools deemed to be promoting inappropriate political or sexual content.
Okay, so I think that critical race theory,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now with the transgender, I think that there's some adjustments that needs to be made.
Okay.
In there. Now I'm gonna say this, y'all don't get upset with
The
me.
views expressed
Is of Kiana, right? Is that I'm one of the
Right
people
on.
like I want you to be whoever you want to be, and
Sure.
that is that. But I'm also one of them people that I feel like we need to protect our children.
Okay.
Right. And when I say this, I think when you start getting hormones that's going to change your body and
Mm-hmm.
who you are, that's going to affect you for a lifetime, that should be an adult decision.
Right.
So when you make that decision, you have nobody else to blame but yourself. You see where kids have did this and then decided like, hey, like I ain't really like,
Yeah.
you know, and
If
so,
I can go back and do
and
it
change
over,
it,
yeah,
and then,
I wouldn't
and
have
then,
made the
and then,
change.
you
Yeah.
know, some of them be like, I'm cool with
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and that's fine. But I do think that should, when you're altering who you are as a person,
Yeah.
that should not be on your parents.
Yeah.
That should really be on you. So I don't, me personally, agree with it, with the lifestyle change as a minor.
At a young age,
When I
right?
think about it, when you're
Yeah.
in elementary school, I asked my
Like having
niece,
surgery, basically.
right?
Yeah.
Not even having just the hormones that go
Okay.
in there and change.
I
Like,
got you.
you
Well, you changing your physical
right
makeup, yeah.
when you're doing it.
Yeah, like
you
these
want,
medical procedures to make
you're a
you more
boy
in
and
line.
now
Yeah,
you're
I hear
going
that.
to get hormones that's going to make you more feminine. You get
Okay.
estrogen
Yeah.
injected in you and taking so that it's more than the
Mm.
testosterone or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's giving you this altered than what you. I don't, me personally,
Yeah.
I don't think a minor should do that. I talk to my nieces and nephews all the time, and every day they want to be something different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I want to be Princess Tiana.
Okay.
And this is the person that you say she come in and be
I
like,
have a niece, I call her Butterfly because I asked her, what you want to be when you grew up? And she said, I want to be a butterfly.
right. But this
So now that's our butterfly. Yeah.
right. But this is the person
I get it.
that she said at one point, I feel like I want to be a boy.
Yeah.
And you start to give them hormones to be a boy.
Yeah.
But she also said she wanted to be a butterfly. Did you start to
Yeah.
try to make her to be a butterfly?
Come on
So
now,
this is
Tiana.
kind of where I'm
Woo.
at with it, with that. So I'm not upset with that part of it.
And that's another thing, right? And so you have the high level headlines of the proposals, but I think it's once we double click on it and really look into the details of it, I think we would be wise to do that because a lot of these things they'll do that, right? They'll give you this high level summary, and you're like, yeah, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then once you look at it, be like, okay, wait, y'all trying to do what? Y'all trying to do who? Yeah.
But this is how, when you look at any amendment that's on the ballot, any
oh yeah, that's the gag.
when you look at it, they put something, and what else they put in the back that you don't know about it don't have nothing to do with it. They be like,
the thing that they said it was, yeah.
No smoking outside because you know secondhand smoke gives you cancer, and then
everybody's like, I can do that. I support that.
But in the back it say, black people can't sit in the front of the bus.
Yeah. right. Yeah,
like,
it'll be in the back of it. And so you think you voting to stop smoking and secondhand smoke, but what you're really voting is to put us in the back of the bus. Yeah.
That's really what they,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they don't care about, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, they don't care about your health.
Yeah.
Because if they did, they would stop feeding us all this medicine.
Ooh-wee.
You know what I mean? They would stop, like, America would stop giving us processed food that they know that's not good for us. You look at the other countries and don't even allow some of that stuff in
right. like don't bring that meat over here.
No.
That stuff y'all grew in them labs. Like, don't y'all bring that this way.
Don't bring that meat. Don't bring that cereal.
Yeah. that's incredible burgers and all that. Yeah.
None of that. Like,
lab grown. That was the thing that DeSantis did though. He banned lab grown in Florida, but I get it though. I hear you loud and clear.
If they really cared about our health, then they would do stuff to make sure that we were really healthy and not depending on them to pay for medicine constantly that's just keeping us where we at independent.
Right on. I hear that. And then it says supporters believe that these changes will protect parental rights and prevent what they see as inappropriate political indoctrination in schools. They argue that that issues like gender identity should be left to families and not imposed by the government. Advocates worry that this rollback will lead to increased bullying, mental health issues, and discrimination against transgender students. It could also undermine educational equity and harm vulnerable youth.
Well, I think bullying is it shouldn't be allowed regardless.
Right.
But I also think, and I said the views expressed is that
well, you got a whole theory on how to handle bullies, right?
I do have it, but we also we see the effect of us not allowing our children to fight their battles. Also,
okay,
right?
Yeah,
we see the effect, the anxiety of when they become adults, the first time they have conflict and they have to do it themselves. They don't have conflict resolution.
Right.
They do not know how to attack or defend themselves when something is uncomfortable because the system has sheltered them for so long to say, hey, if you bully, then they remove it. But in real life, you cannot remove the bully. You either have to
it's a way to remove, but yeah.
But you know the views that
no, I'm telling you, man, like, I'm not gonna say it because then we'd be in trouble. We get all kind of letters. But I'll tell you this. I remember we had programs, and one of the programs that we had that we used to work on was called the Bully Buster.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bully busting program was facilitated by Professor Donnie. Mm-hmm. If that tell you anything about the Bully Buster program.
And so he right there with me.
So we got a list of ways that you can stop a bully. And there's a process and a procedure, but you got to know all the ways to stop a bully. And sometimes, you got to speak the language of a bully in order to get the bully to understand that you are not the one to be bullied. If I say that, can I say it like that?
Yeah, you can. Because usually the bully, somebody who's bullying you, typically is bullying you because they think you're the weakest link.
True.
Right? They don't.
Yeah, bullies don't identify the strong people and say we're gonna pick on them.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
Not bullies.
Yeah.
It's somebody. If they picking out the strongest person, then that means that they want to show that they're nothing to be, and they don't want nobody to mess with them. But bullies want to be feared.
Well, that was a part of how I learned how to deal with bullies too. My dad used to tell me, if it's a group of them, you find the strongest one in the group, and that's who you apply these bully busting tools that we gave you on and with, right?
Because if you attack the head, ain't nobody else coming because this is
And now everybody want to be your friend, right?
Yes, yes, and you know me, mama.
Yeah. Speak the language of the bully. All right, y'all. So that's a few of the Trump's day one proposals. Man, y'all make sure that y'all stay vigilant and keep your eyes open on these things because he coming in saying he's about to make good on his campaign promises, and he's looking to do that through executive orders, which don't have to go through any of the legislative processes. It's just him and his pen to be able to put this stuff out. And so get ready for what that entails and what that's going to look like for the country. All right, the Grammys. Okay. So the Grammys got some exciting news, man. In 2024, the Grammy nominations have just been announced. It's definitely always a thrill to see who's being recognized for their work. And we want to take a moment to celebrate the artists who made the list, but we also going to talk about the history of the recording industry in the Grammys. So for Album of the Year, some of the big announcements that were made: Beyonce for Cowboy Carter, Album of the Year, Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, the Tortured Poets Department. And then there was a few others, but the one that stood out for me also was Andre 3000.
With his flute.
Andre 3000. So the man took all kind of heat, all type of criticism, stood in the paint. That's one of my heroes right now. Andre 3000 is one of my heroes. Like real deal, one of my heroes, because he was like, you know what? Y'all know me for this, but I ain't doing that. This is what I want to do.
Well, he always did that.
Yeah, but this was like hardcore. Yeah, like
he was like, I'm old. Like not like that. He was like, I'm older.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm not inspired, and not that you being old and still doing it there's no knock on you, but there's a certain process that I have that inspires me. And at this age, I'm not inspired in the way that I was when I was younger.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah. And so he's not trying to force art if he's not inspired to do it. He's like, this is what I'm actually inspired to do. I'm inspired to, to breathe.
You look,
you know, and vibrate higher.
that is the beauty. I just said T.I. like T.I. said like this is his last album.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that $71 million lawsuit got.
But before this, but
okay,
you know what?
okay.
I just because I'm watching the Funky Friday.
Okay.
Podcast.
Funky Friday. You got Funky Friday. You got to say it slow. Yeah, funky. Yeah, because when you said it fast, I was like, "What Friday was that?" Okay, Friday. Funky Friday
with Cam Newton.
Okay,
and this interview was like a year ago.
Okay,
with T.I.
Okay,
and he had said that this was his last album. Then,
okay, gotcha.
Right? And he was like, the person who I am, and like, there's so many gifts that I have. He was like, I always will be doing music. Like, I love music. I'm just not gonna give out another body of work.
Right, like a whole album. Yeah, because he's doing music, he's doing housing, he's doing
he's
got a restaurant. He's behind
movies and all this other stuff. So he was like, he just want to take his gifts and do every other thing.
Yeah, I love that. And Cam Newton had a great interview with Killer Mike too. That's another one of the guys who I'm listening to. Got him in heavy rotation right now.
He did another interview with Jamal Bryant that I like.
Okay, Killer Mike.
No.
Or T.I. Cam Newton. Okay. Oh, Pastor Jamal. I gotta check it out. I gotta find it. Yeah.
Like, it was really like,
that's what's up.
It's kind of a little bit everywhere.
King Jab.
It kind of talked about like all the ups and downs, and marriage came up. Right?
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, do you think your marriage could have made it?" And he was like, "Yes, if I would have followed the rules of the marriage. Like, if I wouldn't have cheated, we would have been together."
Pretty much.
Like, he was like, "My wife was a good wife."
Yeah.
She, she supported me. She was a good mama. She was all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It was me. But yeah, go look at it.
No, I will. I absolutely will look forward to trying to find it. I almost went way off on that one because let me get back. Record of the year. We talking about the Grammys. So Andre 3000, shout out to him. He was nominated for album of the year for his album Playing the Flute, New Blue Sun. Record of the year, Sabrina Carpenter from Espresso, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and some other folks also in that category. Song of the year, Sabrina Carpenter. Look like the same kind of list with the addition of Her. So Her is included in the Song of the Year lineup as well. Song of the year, not seeing it, but let's see. Then we got Best New Artist, Sabrina Carpenter, Shabuzi. I don't know these people because they knew Doechii. It's hip hop. You know Doechii? Pink Pantheress.
Doechii from Florida.
Okay. And when I saw the list come out, I basically like saved some of these albums because I said I wanted to listen to them just to see because you know what? Like this is what's happening.
With the Grammys, you don't have to be like. These don't have to be the ones that's played on the radio.
Right.
You think that you would do that because
the popular songs, the ones that you hear all the time. Yeah.
Because like Cheyenne, June's Diary was nominated for some Grammys.
Okay, got it. It looked like we was frozen on my phone.
Yeah, we were nominated for some Grammys.
Nice.
And a lot of people didn't know
because it wasn't like a radio song.
It wasn't a radio song, but it was some really nice music that they were,
I love that. So congratulations to the nominees. Definitely showcases a diverse array of talent, lots of different genres. And we definitely congratulate the nominees, but we also got to keep it real, man, and have an honest conversation about the troubled history of the Grammys as it relates to, Black artists. And one of the things that I think we can do before we really dive into the racist history of it, because that's a whole segment of itself. Just some of the eligibility requirements, because one of the things that we talked about too in previous, might have been last year, was Rod Wave. Remember we were saying that, with all of the amazing work that he's doing, he hasn't been nominated.
And this year again.
Yeah. But there's a process, and I think the process is worth, us exploring and talking about a little bit in the time that we have left. but the eligibility and submission. So the process every year, artists, their representatives, and record labels, they submit entries for Grammy consideration. And so if you're not submitting it, you don't even get the consideration.
Right. And somebody has to submit it.
Consuela, good morning.
Good morning, Swella.
And so, yeah, somebody has to submit it. The submitted work must fall within a specific eligibility period. I think this period is from like September to August. So September of last year to August of this year. And some of the issues around that are that major labels have the resources to submit multiple entries across various categories, while some of the independent and lesser known artists also struggle to gain visibility. This can skew the nominations towards more mainstream and white dominated acts, is one of the concerns with the submission process.
Well, I will tell you this is the music business, right? And I keep it.
Show business.
You got it.
We got the show figured out.
Yeah, but you need the business part. You have to.
Yeah.
And then we talk about like what's fair and not fair. There's a lot of stuff that's not fair in the business, but there's some things that we can control.
Yeah.
I know some people that actually vote on the, on the Grammy committee.
Okay.
And last year when it was, I had a conversation and they were surprised that nobody had nominated Rod.
Okay.
Like nobody,
because you have to put your name in the hat. Yeah.
Somebody has to put your name in.
Yeah. It says artists, their representatives, record label, somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to put your name in the hat. And then what happened is, so once you are submitted, that's then from there you're voting.
Can we go to change.org and submit? I don't know. Like, we got to get that boy in there, man.
You're right. And I mean, a part of it, like Rod said at one point, that he wasn't doing it for that.
Yeah,
right?
true. A lot of people haven't.
I'm gonna say that. I want to say is that everybody, even the most humble person, wants to be appreciated. For what they do.
Yeah, and I think the appreciation, I saw Big Bo's post. I saw it this morning. I don't know when it was posted, but he talked about how they sold out this arena in Nashville that they originally didn't want to let them use for their show.
Right.
So they let them use it last year, and they did like 80% sold out, and then this year
they
100% sold out, and they want them to do like multiple dates.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to allow them to do it at first until they demonstrated like, we can do this and people gonna have a good time and not cause no trouble.
Right.
So yeah, that's always been a hurdle and a barrier. Another one of the issues with the submission was that Black artists have historically faced challenges with genre classification of their work. For instance, Tyler, the Creator, has been criticized for the use of the term urban, feeling that it minimizes his music's impact and relegates it to a separate box based upon race, because urban is code word for Black.
Right.
And so even though you got all of these other people listening to your music and it transcends, this genre, they still, because you're Black, they figure that your music is for Black people.
Right.
And so that they would have you in this urban space.
And I think they're always going to be fighting. Like you see Michelle, who's like,
she's doing country. She's doing a country album now, right?
She did it. And I heard that it did really good numbers. Like, you know what I mean? A matter of fact, I watched Queen's Court a little bit last night. Right?
Was that the one Crunk Coco was on?
Yes, that's
that's the only reason why you watched it. So whoever's in charge over at Queen's Court, like you got people that only watched it because Crunk Coco was on there. I think that's important.
That is
to note that. So yeah.
Court, like,
shout out to Coco.
I got a text from Coco and say that he was.
I'm on TV.
And I was like, I'm there.
I saw the recording that he posted and shared. I'm like, that's what's up. Yeah.
I'm never
never
watched Queen's Court.
Okay.
It's like the second or third season. Never watched it. He said he was on there. I put my TV on at 9:30.
Okay. To make sure that.
And he was actually in the audience. On Queen's
and
Court.
They showed him. I seen him in the back doing what he do.
Yeah. for K Michelle.
Yeah.
So shout out. He's doing some amazing things up there in Atlanta.
Right on.
He got another show that's coming out that he's in on November 20th. He sent me. So
so he moved away to make a way. Yeah. Not moved away because he's afraid. Right? That's a T.I. verse.
Yeah.
So the labeling of the material. Also, they were saying how like with Beyonce with the Country Music Awards, like she didn't get nominated for a Country Music Award despite the fact that she was #1 on the charts for several weeks. But it speaks to just the dynamics of that industry.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of other criteria that we just don't have time to get into this morning, but the screening process is another one of the things that have been the source of controversy. So like after you submit your material, there's a screening committee that checks on the entries to ensure that it meets the requirements and that it's placed in the right category. They said it is not really about judging the quality, but it's about making sure that it's properly categorized.
Mm-hmm.
And the decisions on genre placement have often been arbitrary, leading to backlash with popular songs by Black artists. And Black artists are moved out of mainstream categories. Another example, Lil Nas X, Old Town Road, was initially rejected from the country category. And it sparked debate about genre gatekeeping because they didn't want Lil Nas X. Like his song Old Town Road, was a country song, but they didn't have it in the country genre. And then there's another debate. That country music scene is in an uproar right now because
they don't want Black people in there for real.
They don't want us in there for real.
But they always had Black artists. But it's okay as long as you're not making real rumbles.
And now they making real rumbles, like leading the charts. So Beyonce, K. Michelle, the brother Jonathan, I think is Jonathan something, but he did the song Tipsy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And y'all know I like country.
Yeah.
Like people get in my car and just use sometimes on a country station.
Right.
Really like real down road.
Yeah.
Country.
Country. Yeah. So they were saying that that's a part of the one of the issues is just how they do genre gatekeeping and try and keep successful Black artists out of certain genres. There's a lack of transparency.
And what's funny is they keep us out, right? But they always want to come over to us.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, you can have white artists in the urban category, right?
They don't want to muddy
their waters,
but they want to come clean up ours.
Come on, man. What are we doing here? Yeah.
Like, we'll dirty up theirs, but they'll come clean up ours.
Yeah, we're coming in, which is dilution, right? and so a lot of issues with the Grammys and their processes. Again, we're going to talk about it as we get closer to the Grammys. Some of these issues around transparency, the nominating committee process, the voting process, actually the final voting and selection of winners have all been subjects of controversy. So again, as we celebrate this year's nominations, it's important to recognize that there has been some progress, but to remain vigilant about the work that's still needed as it relates to the Grammys and what they're doing. All right, I got to ask Kiana for you. Okay, we can get out of here. We got a few minutes and we probably can do like a Ask Kiana part 2. Miss Mary, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Dear Kiana, this is a trip too, by the way. Just hi Kiana.
Hey.
I need some advice about a situation that's really starting to bother me. My brother has been teasing my son lately, calling him sassy every time he makes a joke or shows a little personality. It started off as playful, but I can see that it's now starting to hurt my son's feelings. He's a good kid, confident and expressive, but now he's starting to hold back because of these comments. I've tried brushing it off, but it's getting to the point where I feel like I need to say something. The thing is, I don't even know what sassy really means in this context. Is it just another way of calling him sensitive or extra? And how do I exactly.
What happened?
Yeah, yeah, right.
We're back.
Yeah, we back. And so yeah, I think just getting clarity on what it means. You know what your brother is meaning when he's saying sassy. He's calling him sassy, but what exactly is he?
Yeah, like find out exactly.
Like double click on that. What you mean? What you're saying? What are you actually calling my son?
Yeah.
And it's making him uncomfortable. So like chill with that. Like come up off of that. Like, you know, like you said about my baby. You know,
about my baby.
However you mean it, you teasing, you laughing, it ain't funny. Like, okay, it might have been cute or funny at first, but if it's impacting the way my child is starting to show up and start to, you know, if they're questioning themselves and doubting themselves, like these negative impacts outweigh your, you know, big uncleness or whatever it is. Like it's a way that you can do this. Like if you have a concern or you have something that you want to talk to them about, it's a way to do that without having them feel uncomfortable and change who they are.
And it is. And so, but this is the thing. So parenting is so crazy, right? When you're doing that, sometimes you have uncomfortable conversations, right? And sometimes, and I'm not saying it is, you need to change what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's some things.
Yeah.
This is what.
That's what I mean. Like if it needs to be corrected, it needs to be addressed it. But there's a way that you do that. You know what I'm saying? And like picking on them and teasing them.
It's not.
That's almost like bullying, like what we were talking about.
It is a sign of bullying.
Yeah.
You know.
And so don't bully them into trying to get them to change. Like have a conversation and say, hey man, you know.
Because like when my dad did it, he popped, but he explained to my brother.
Yeah.
Like yo, and my brother got it.
Right.
You know
right. Like, oh, okay. I didn't know. Right.
You know, some people you pick up what you see.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And then if your son is around you all the time, a lot of your mannerisms and the way you
see that,
express yourself,
they'll pick it up, and it doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, one way or another that this is what, but just have a conversation.
I hear that. So yeah, you listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Wow, we overtime. Feels real good to be in the saddle. We'll be back on Wednesday, y'all. We ain't got time for a whole lot of final thoughts, but I just want to remind you, we're going to end like we started. God is still in charge. And then, stay focused.
Be the change you want to be. Write down those 5 things and stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house. All right. This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And we out for real.